Welcome to Sam Outside. I'm Sam and I'm outside. Just explaining a little bit more intentionally the difference between spending time outside for physical, mental, and emotional benefits compared to making actual nature connection. There's a difference, and it's about the active part of that. So, spending time outside, it's going to land. Your body is just naturally going to reduce cortisol. All right, you're getting some activity, right? Just on a simple walk. You don't have to walk. You can just spend time outside, just standing in your yard, going to a park, just stepping out the door of your workplace and maybe finding, a patch of grass and nature. Surround yourself with a couple of trees, and you're going to change your emotional state. And you're going to improve your focus, and you're going to lower your blood pressure, and you're going to regulate your heart rhythms, after 20 minutes, right? That's just going to naturally happen. And that's the benefit of just spending time outside. You're getting fresh air and you're getting access to daylight. You're off your screen, right? So all those things are going to land. But nature connection takes a little more effort. It's more active, all right? The difference is the active participation in sensory work. So you're going to pause and you're going to just spend a moment. Use that word intentionally. That moment could be a couple minutes, could be 10, right? And ideally, if you want to truly immerse that particular sense and separate them, do it with your eyes closed. So just focus on some breath work, all right? Just really settle into the moment, right? And once you've done some breath work, just some box breathing, 4, 4, 4, 4, that sort of thing, just go through your senses, spend some time. What am I hearing? So actively listening. The wind rustling in the trees, birds. I have flurry of mosquitoes around me. I'm hearing that, right? And if you're doing it while you're moving, eyes open then, maybe it's what are my feet actually landing on, right? Is it the dry leaves? Is it grass? Is it gravel? Is it sand? And if there's water nearby, which I highly recommend, that has an entirely different connection with our ancient brain, right? There's a soothing aspect with water, whether it's the wind, sound of water lapping on a shoreline, or moving water through a river, over a brook, that sort of thing. And then what am I smelling? All right, there are, depending on the time of day, humidity, air movement, right? There are smells, and I highly recommend spending some time in a mixed forest, right? You're getting a complete complement of different smells, but the true healing power of spending time in a forest comes with coniferous trees, specifically because of the phytoncides. Those are the essential oils, the volatile chemicals that are exuded through coniferous trees are evergreens. Right? So the phytoncides connect to their own immune system. You're getting some immune boosting, right? And what am I seeing? What am I noticing? Right? So your brain is naturally going to do some of the math. It's going to get scale and scope, and it's going to allow you to, it'll put your own scale in there in the grander scheme of things. I'm quite small relative to the other large living things around me, but I'm also a lot larger than some of these smaller, yet equally important contributors to the living world. And it just does that automatically. But the act of noticing that, there's some focus, right? Then you start to get curious. What is that? Well, that's a tree. What kind of tree am I looking at? So that curiosity there, and then with a little bit of practice, a little bit of curiosity, a little bit of active participation on your part, you're going to start to want to identify, not only that's the difference between a leaf-bearing tree, deciduous, and a needle-bearing tree. Well, that's coniferous, right? Well, so there's an active part of that. What am I feeling? So the air moving around me, warmth, shade, cool, air movement, no air movement, still, hot, cold, those sort of things. That's an active piece, right? And engages the thought process there. And touch, right? So, that's smooth and it's actually cool. And on this side of the tree it might be damp, and on that side of the tree it might be warm. How is that happening? What is that, right? And what's the reason for this bark having that particular shape and pattern, color relative to birch, right? So there's an activity, an engagement there, and what it is the nature connection, connecting you to the natural world around you. That curiosity. So that's the active part. Now that active part, think of it this way: If you're outside and you blindfold and you pick something up and you throw it, it's going to land. You're going to hit something. All right. There's an passive part to that, in a low bar set, but eyes open, picking up something that, you can control the weight and get some aim with, you can actually hit a target. That's the difference. So just lobbing something out, it's going to land. That's spending time outside. But if you pick something up and aim, you're going to hit it. That's nature connection. So that's where the mindfulness piece comes in. So for me, that is the difference. And yeah, I spend a lot of time outside and I'm getting some passive benefits to it. And it does help physically, mentally, and emotionally. But when I make the intentional effort to be mindful and engage in some sensory work, and then I start to feed my curiosity, and with time and experience, there is a confidence and a reassurance about my own skill set, my ability to participate in nature as another living thing in these ecosystems. And that's nature connection. Now, as a certified forest therapy guide, when I invite others to participate in nature connection, I'm your coach. So you go from lobbing something blindfolded, hopefully it lands on something, hey, but if you're out there throwing and trying to hit a target and you're getting something that hits, all right, so that's forest bathing. You're doing that on your own. But as a certified forest therapy guide, I'm your coach. So now I can help you intentionally aim. You want a knuckleball on that? You want a slider? All right, so I can help your odds, improve your percentage. The connection is more deep. I'm holding the vessel for things like safety and timing and scaffolding. I'm going to get you there and keep you there and then teach you how to continue to succeed on your own after our training session is over, if that makes sense. All right, so think of it as your coach, as your guide. I have a job to do, and it's to help you get more out of your time outside through nature connection so that you can leave a guided forest therapy experience and be more successful, more intentional with your own nature connection exercises. So I hope that helps explain the difference. So don't just go outside, although that has amazing benefits. Participate in nature connection. It's a little more active. It's going to land a little deeper. You're going to get far more benefits out of that experience. You can take the same amount of time. Start with 20 minutes up to a half hour, but a guided forest therapy experience because you're paying for it. And because there are a lot more benefits out of that session, it can take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. We don't cover a lot of land. You can do it in a kilometer. I always participate in a mixed forest, high concentration of coniferous trees because of those phytoncides. And I always need access to water, right? Because there are so many amazing benefits to that. So I hope that explains the difference. But at the end of the day, go outside. It's going to land. All right. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.